cucumbers have to be taken out. All right, and then we just string it up. So we have a good amount of plum tomatoes on here. So here's my broccoli. That's why you plant different kinds. And now he's putting our compost. So I got my last 2 zucchinis. So it's Labor Day weekend and we are out in the garden. These cucumbers have to be taken out. They are done. They have some flowers on there, but you know, we got to make room for our fall crops. So we're going to be taking this trellis down, the fabric, the T-post from both the cucumber beds to make room for the fall crops. I have broccoli that I started already. They're getting pretty high. They have to be planted. We're also going to be planting carrots, more turnips, just in case I didn't get the timing right on my turnips, because it's been hot and you know, turnips don't like it when it's hot. So the effort of putting the trellis and the T-post and fabric down, they stay in we keep them in the same spot for 3 years, our cucumbers and tomatoes and our other crops, and we've never really had a problem. I know some people rotate every year, we do not. So setting up these trellis systems, you know, in the fall or the spring, you know, every couple of years is well worth the work. We can grow so much more in such a small amount of space. If I had these on the ground, they would have taken up 3 of these beds. And you can see they're 8 feet tall. So even though my garden is a little bigger than some people have only a little bit of space. So even if you have a little bit of space, you can set up a trellis. You can put a tomato, a cucumber, some beans, and you can grow so much more in such a small space. All right, so I think I talked enough about the trellis system. If you have any questions, just ask. I've been marking down how many bins we've been getting throughout the summer. So in the course of this video, I'll write down how many total that we have. Tom and I will start picking these cucumbers, getting the vines off, and taking this all apart and showing you how we store our trellis. It's very easy. We just pick a space in the garden, set up the T-post, and just hang them on the T-post. You don't have to fold them up or anything like that. And then it's easy whenever you need to put them back up in the spring or whenever you're putting them up to just go there and pick them off and just stick them right back on. So we'll show you that and we'll get to work. Oh, I got some big ones here. Can't believe it's September 1st, I think, and we're still getting so many cucumbers. And you would think that I'm sick of cucumber salad and all. I'm not. I could eat that all year round. And these are called Cool Customer. So this is this side of the cucumber bed. The other bed is on this side. Yeah, so it's, like I said, it's September 1st. And I still have so many cucumbers on here. Look at this. Yeah, and they're still flowering up top. But there's a good amount of cucumbers. I thought it would be lucky to get 1 bin. I'm going to have a bin and a half. So I have 2 types of long slicers. I have General Lee and I have, what's it called? Yeah, Gateway. So Gateway and General Lee, both good producers. I think for sure we're going to have cucumber salad with our barbecue tomorrow. Even with no leaves, I miss cucumbers. Phew. Well, I didn't think we had that many. So we got more than a bin, which is very surprising to me. I didn't know there was this many. So we're definitely going to be having cucumber salad with our barbecue tomorrow. And I think I'm going to be making some more jars of pickles. So, all right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to be pulling all this down, getting all this off. So we'll be back. So Tom's working on cutting the last set of netting down. Then we have to do this one, and this is what we do with it. So what we do is we take 3 T-posts. You see this 3 T-posts? And then we bring it over here and we hang it on those. And that can stay there until the spring or whenever we need it. All right, and then we just string it up. I got a lot. Okay, one thing of netting down. And we can put 6 nettings on this one hook. And then once we fill that one up, if we're doing more, then we just go up to the next hook. And we just keep doing that. It holds a lot of netting. I'll go back over here. And Tom's just taking out the T-post. And then we got to work on this bed. All right, now we just got to get this side done. It's the next morning and it's bright and early. I have to get my tomatoes picked. So we have this plum. This is one of my favorite plums. This is Plum Regal. So we want to get this picked early because I want to get the sauce started before we start getting ready for a barbecue. Today is Monday, Memorial Day. And I want to get as much done in the garden as possible before I have to start cooking for the barbecue. So we have a good amount of plum tomatoes on here. And I already canned 36 pints of tomatoes and a lot of juice, tomato juice. But these are pretty full and I have a lot of green ones still. And it's only September 2nd, so they should have plenty of time to ripen up. And this is a Plum Regal. It's an awesome plum tomato. Very meaty and firm and heavy. So I'll set you up on a tripod as we pick. Oops, I dropped one, that's by you. All right, that was our second picking. I'll show you in there. So that's the second picking on this row. Oh, I missed one. So we have another plum row right here. We'll pick these, keep the plums together. All right, so we got all our plum tomatoes picked. Now we're gonna switch crates and put all the determinate slicers in there because I do make sauce with those also. And we won't have as many of these because we also eat these as slicers. And so these are my Mountain Fresh. They're a determinate tomato. They make a really nice sauce. It's really nice to mix the slicers with the plum when you're making sauce. It makes a really delicious sauce. So a lot of my determinate tomatoes that I use for my sauce and for eating are the Mountain Fresh and Red Juice. They're both really thick, heavy tomatoes with little seeds. And I also plant one that's called Carolina Gold. This is so sweet and delicious and has less acid in there. So if you can't have some people can't have a lot of acid with their tomatoes. The yellow ones have less, and they're really good slicers. All right, so we got our cucumbers from yesterday. We just picked our tomatoes, our plum, and our slicers. I have to get in the house and get these cleaned up, put in a slow cooker to start my sauce. While that's going, then I can come back out here and do some more stuff. We have to get the plastic up from the cucumber beds that we took out yesterday, and I need to get my broccoli in because that's really needs to get planted. And Tom's going to be putting carrots in here. I also picked a couple days ago my winter squash, and I got my buttercups, butternut, and acorn squash. So I'll be putting them in my basement to let them cure more. And let me go in the house, get this started, and then we'll be back out in a little bit. All right, so I've been working in the house, getting my sauce done and cooking. And Tom's been down here getting the bed ready. It's got nice compost on here, rototilled it. We got some nice wood ash. So now I gotta get my broccoli in. That needs to get planted. So today's a good day to do it. It's gonna be cool the next couple days. And I did pick my beans and get most of them off of there. I have them in the shade. So I got the beans picked. Here's a look at some of my transplants. Here's my broccoli and my cauliflower that has to go in. It's getting really large. And there's my kohlrabi. And these are some small sunflowers I want to plant somewhere too. So we're going to be doing this because it's fall without the plastic. There's a lot less weed pressure in the fall. In my area, we get a lot of slugs. And that's the one downside to using the fabric. The slugs like to hide under there, and slugs love broccoli and cauliflower. So we'll see if this deters the slugs by not putting the plastic. So Tom's right now is using his dibbler, and he puts the marks in the ground. You've seen this with when we plant our pepper transplants and stuff like that. This way I can know what my spacing is. So now I can get my broccoli planted. So here's my broccoli. I started this in the house. I started it on 7/21, and I potted them up in these on 8/9, and today is September 2nd. So the first one is Eastern Magic, and that's a 62-day variety. Then I have Imperial, that's 71 days, and then I have, which one's this? Monmouth, and that's 68 days. And so that's what's in this tray, and I have a whole nother tray with different ones in there. And so I will try to space them earlier days to later days. That way I can harvest in a row. I'm gonna start putting these out. All right, Tom's getting that bed ready. And here's my broccoli bed. This broccoli cauliflower. I have them laid out with the spacing I want. We put them pretty close together. They're going to be about 12 inches. I know you get a little bit bigger if you space them farther apart, but this is fine because I'm going to be planting more inside my greenhouse, and that will be for later planting. So I have, these are all broccoli and a little bit of cauliflower. These are going to be going inside the greenhouse. That's why I put them in these big trays, so they have plenty of root growth. This will be pretty quick since Tom just rototilled. I'll do one side and then I do the next. I'm not worried about the tags. That was just so I had an idea what I was planting. I'll take the tags out. And like I said, these broccolis and cauliflowers are all different dates to maturity. Hopefully I get all different times, so everything's not ready all at once. That's why you plant different kinds. The earliest one is, I think, the cauliflower, a yellow, and I think that said 55 days. We'll see the timing of when they're ready and see how close it is. And the latest one I have is 89 days, and that is a purple cauliflower. Let me show you real quick what Tom's doing. He rototilled real good. He put the wood ash down, and now he's putting our compost on top. All right, so my broccoli and cauliflower are all in. Now in the middle, I put my kohlrabi. And I have that over here. Let me get that. I started this on the same day that I started the broccoli and cauliflower. So they're ready to be put in. So my kohlrabi I put right in the center. They're done way before the broccoli and cauliflower. So I get more crops in this bed than just a broccoli cauliflower. And it requires the same care as the broccoli cauliflower. All right, there you go. Bed's all finished. And we just got to water. So here's a look. I do have a couple broccolis and cauliflowers left over. That way, if any of them don't make it because of shock or anything like that, I can just replace them. But just like that, the bed's planted and ready for the fall garden. So Tom finished this bed up, and once he put the compost on, he topped it off with a time-released triple 14 fertilizer. And now this bed's going to be ready for some carrots and whatever else we want to put in. So I got my last 2 zucchinis. I planted more, but I don't know how they're doing. They look a little bit shocked. And I got my string beans. All right, that's it for today. The tomatoes are almost done. I got a couple zucchinis. I picked the string beans. Tom rototilled everything. And we got the broccoli, cauliflower, and kohlrabi in. And he put the compost on, the fertilizer. The cucumbers are in the refrigerator. I can't do that today. I'll make pickles in a couple days. And thanks for watching. And I hope you come back and watch the garden grow. We're going to be starting in the greenhouse pretty soon, and we'll be planting in there. And we should have vegetables and lettuce and all that for the winter. Bye-bye.